Wow, Jermell Charlo wants to fight his own boss, Oscar De La Hoya, if he's coming out of retirement. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Yeah, we working. Head over to Patreon, link in the description. You can also hit the YouTube join button below this video. There's a subscribe button and it should say join. Join, we having fun over there doing the group sessions. And let's get it. Lions only. Jermell Charlo. Verified account. Oscar De La Hoya. Ooh, that knockout was crazy. Oscar De La Hoya said he's coming out of retirement, right? De La Hoya, let's go to his page. I'll show you. So instead of giving Ryan Garcia a fight date and announcing it, instead of, Canelo's options seem pretty sparse, and instead of announcing Canelo's next opponent, De La Hoya is posting this. He says, I could do some damage in the 154-pound weight class. Flashback Friday, the comeback training. So he did interviews recently saying that he's considering a comeback to the sport of boxing as a fighter. And he's posting a picture, throwback picture of when he was in, fighter shape for one of his fights, right? So I thought the behavior was a bit weird, seeing how he's a promoter now. He hasn't fought since the Pacquiao fight, however many years ago, early 2000s, and you haven't announced your opponents, your fighters' opponents. The only fights I guess the biggest fight that they've announced is probably Javier Fortuna, Jorge Linares, and you're talking about this. But anyway, he said he's coming back to the 154-pound division, and this is what Jermell Charlo put, on his verified page. Let's get it. Actually, let me switch the view. I don't like that view. He said, Oscar De La Hoya, I won't scare you or try to make you stop. Come on. You ain't been touched by this era. You said 154 because you know I'm king. Let's go. Wow. So that's a call out. This page is actually hilarious. This Charlo, y'all gotta follow Charlo's burner account. This page is hilarious. I see him all the time. So anyway, he called out Oscar De La Hoya. He said, let's get it. And Jermell retweeted this. Somebody said, he playing with his nose again. He doing this instead of putting his fighters in lucrative fights. That's what I just said. And I promise you this is not rehearsed. So I didn't even see, I didn't even see the fight or this comment. Now listen. The crazy thing is this, Oscar De La Hoya, had a fantastic career. He fought everybody, Ike Corte, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Hector Camacho, Julio Cesar Chavez twice, right? He fought everyone he needed, Felix Tito Trinidad, B-Hop, etc. But his run, his wave is over, I see the Mike Tyson, Holyfield, and different guys said they're going to come back. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But it's going to be hard to be like a De La Hoya, possibly abuse your body. He's done stints in rehab since retiring. Stuff like that, has lawsuits. Who knows what else? Drinks alcohol. I've seen a couple of TMZ interviews where he looked under the influence. Stuff like that. And that's his business. He's a grown man. But to try to hop back in and face the likes of Jermell Charlo's and, just top champions now, it's just going to be hard. I have to look. I think he's 47, stuff like that. So, but I will say this. Someone said he's picking on old men now. And you making fun of Canelo because he fought Kovalev and Triple G. Listen. Listen, when a black fighter does it, notice people always have problems. Like, first of all, Jermell Charlo didn't just wake up and call out De La Hoya. But if he says he's coming back and that's Charlo's old boss and he feels he's the king, and, you know, De La Hoya is definitely a name that is synonymous with boxing, then I don't blame him. You know what I'm saying? You know, Dillian White, if he says he wants to fight Mike Tyson or something, you know, Dave Allen, I think, said he wanted to fight Mike Tyson and he could beat him. But when Charlo says something, then it's a problem. You know, when a black fighter says something, this is just a response to what De La Hoya did. If De La Hoya, listen, it's not picking on old man. You know what I'm saying? The same thing is if Floyd comes back, then there's going to be guys that want to fight him. Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, they're like, hey, you know, I want to see if I could beat you. And you have a name, you know what I'm saying? So I don't look at it no other type of way. Somebody said, you were doing well. Don't be calling out old men. Stick to the young lions in your division. He said the old fart called us out. Go clean his shoes, heels. But he bored, so let him take the risk. If he want to lace up gloves, then a go don't matter. Oh, age. Then age, that's what he meant to put. Age don't matter. He said, so if he want to get in there, then, you know, he got to get this wreck. I'm the king of 154, you know. So me personally, I don't even think he's going to come back like that. I think he's just, for whatever reason, that's his form of promotion. I told you, you're now seeing the change of the old guard. The things that people used to do don't really seem to work anymore. That old media tactics and, you know, stuff that used to have success. I just read Zurdo Ramirez left Golden Boy. Zurdo Ramirez just left Top Rank. We'll see where he goes. So fighters are getting smarter. If they're upset, then they're waiting out their contracts. Because I haven't seen Gilberto Ramirez fight in a minute, you know. So fighters are just overall getting smart. They're getting smart. Yeah, this was a bad look when Canelo and Kovalev had to wait for UFC. That was a bad look. This is Charlo watching that apparently. But yeah, man, De La Hoya, I don't know if he wants to come back. It is what it is. I'll watch Charlo versus De La Hoya if that's what he wants to do. But it's just like when someone becomes a champion. Nobody's worried about your age. If you have a champion, you have a bullseye on your back. De La Hoya has a name and a brand, and he's the one saying I could make noise and beat guys at 54. Then why would guys at 54 say, nah, I'm not fighting this? They're trained killers. You know, they're trained for Mortal Kombat in the martial art of boxing. So why would Charlo let anybody come to his division, come back to his division where he is one of the kings, you know, if not the man, right? He probably is the man because J-Rock, he lost his belt. Rosario just got there, you know, at that level and became a unified champion. Hurd lost. So yeah, Charlo's looking like the man, you know? So why would he let De La Hoya come to his division? And then the other thing is the Charlo, or at least Jermell, used to be signed to Golden Boy. So he might have personal reasons because he's been on record multiple times. I even have one of the interviews from Vegas where Charlo said this. And he was basically saying that the Golden Boy wouldn't sign my brother. I was trying to get Jermell Charlo signed and they only wanted to sign me, and they were, you know, a bunch of broken promises. He was also saying that he wasn't making more than 100,000 or so when he was with Golden Boy, and it took him leaving and signing with Al Heyman, and he credits that as the best decision that he made for his career because he started making the real bread and getting the real opportunity. So he might have some angst or whatever to get off his chest personally because he knows De La Hoya, you know. So either way, I don't think it will happen because I don't really even have much faith that De La Hoya really is going to come back because he said this before. But really an embarrassing look for Golden Boy because you have fighters who are stars now, and I think De La Hoya misses that limelight, and you have done nothing to release or announce their fights publicly. So it's like, how are you worried about your comeback? Let me check, you know. I'm done talking. Oscar De La Hoya comeback. See? De La Hoya comeback legit. He says he wants to work with Floyd Mayweather Sr. only. Clout chasing, in my opinion. Oscar says he's training for boxing comeback. You see? So you hogging up the headlines, and yet and still we don't even know who Ryan Garcia is fighting next, or Canelo. And the names that are being mentioned for at least Canelo are horrible. So De La Hoya hasn't fought in 12 years. 2008, and we're in 2020. And he last fought at 145, 147, but he made his last fight weight that he made was 145. This is the fight Pacquiao jumped up 2 weight classes and bodied him. Stopped him in the 8th, right? So a guy who hasn't fought since 2008 is making the priority him coming back. Eddie turned pro in 92. Again, he's had a lot of lawsuits and just different things outside the ring. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but Jermell waiting. He said, if you coming back to my division, I don't even know if De La Hoya can comfortably make. I don't know how much he weighs or nothing right now, but just walking around weight versus getting in fight shape, these are 2 different things. You know, trying to do a weight cut at an advanced age, it's not necessarily the best thing for your body, especially if you've abused your body in the last decade plus. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of Jermell calling out Oscar De La Hoya. I'm from the old school, so don't start none, won't be none. De La Hoya, he made it about him, called himself out, and literally just said, you know, I could give it, what did he say? Let me, just for the sake of quoting him accurately, he says, I could do some damage at 154-pound weight class. So if that's how he feels, you feeling froggish, leap. Sign up for ESPN Plus. Link in the description. It does help the channel in a phenomenal way when you guys click on that ESPN Plus link. Order ESPN Plus if you're interested. They got docuseries, documentaries. They have exclusives, BTS. They have archive of boxing and UFC fights. It's going down. Get ESPN Plus as a standalone app, or you can bundle it. ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. You could get all 3 apps for one price of $12.99 a month. Very good deal. I personally have all 3. Click that link if you want to help the channel and also get a plethora of new content. Let me know what you guys think of De La Hoya versus Lions Only Jermell Charlo. Jermell. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.